Have you ever considered your life in terms of day and night, morning, afternoon, and evening? How does this perspective change your understanding of your journey? If you think about it, our lives can be likened to the different parts of a day. From the fresh, hopeful break of dawn to the peak brightness of noon and the serene calmness of the evening, each phase has a unique story to tell. Our mornings, filled with youthful energy and endless possibilities, symbolize the early years of our lives. The afternoon represents the peak of our existence, where we are at our strongest and most active. As the sun begins to set, we find ourselves stepping into the evening of our lives, a time for reflection and wisdom. So, where do you think you are in this day called life? Let's dive into a deeper exploration of this concept and see how it can provide us with valuable insights into our lives. What does the morning represent in our lives? This question guides us through the second scene of our journey, as we delve into the symbolism of the morning in the cycle of life. The morning, in the grand tapestry of life, is akin to the early stages of our existence. It represents a time of growth, of joy, and of minimal responsibility. This parallels the biblical account in Genesis, where God called the light day. This light, this day, symbolizes life itself, divided into morning, afternoon, and evening, each bearing its unique significance. In the morning of life, we flourish and grow, much like the psalmist describes in Psalm 96. Think back to the innocence of childhood, to the carefree days of youth where the world was a playground and every day brought forth new possibilities. The responsibilities of life were unknown, and the simple act of waking up to a new day was filled with anticipation and excitement. The morning meal was a given, and how it arrived at the table was of no concern. The joy of the morning was pure, much like the laughter of a child. This stage of life, the morning, is a time of unfiltered happiness and growth. The psalmist in Psalm 35 tells us that joy comes in the morning. It is a period of life characterized by learning, by exploration, by the sheer joy of existence. The Bible often uses the metaphor of the morning to signify the start of something new, a fresh start, a time of blessing and favor. In the morning, we are full of energy, ready to face the day, ready to learn and grow. We are like seedlings reaching for the sun, stretching ourselves towards the light, eager to soak up all the knowledge and experiences that life has to offer. And so as the sun rises and the day unfolds, so do we. We grow, we learn, we experience. We embody the spirit of the morning, a spirit of joy, of growth, and of minimal responsibility. We are in the morning of our lives, blossoming in the light of God's favor, flourishing in the dawn of our existence. As the morning of life unfolds, let us embrace the joy and growth it brings, and carry its spirit with us as we journey through the day. As the sun rises and the day unfolds, so do we, growing and learning, embodying the spirit of the morning. As the sun reaches its zenith, we find ourselves in the afternoon of our lives. This is the time when our light shines brightest, our strength is at its peak, and our productivity is at its highest. Just as the sun in the afternoon is at its most potent, so are we in this stage of our lives. In the book of Job we read, "Thine age shall be clearer than the noonday." This is a profound metaphor for the clarity and strength that characterizes the afternoon of our lives. It's a time when we have the strength to carry the weight of our responsibilities and the clarity to navigate our path. It's the time when we are at our prime, ready to take on the world and make our mark. The afternoon of our lives is not just about physical strength or mental acuity. It's about the strength of our character, the resilience of our spirit, and the wisdom of our hearts. It's about the capacity to stand firm in our beliefs, to persevere in our endeavors, and to stay true to our convictions. This is the time when we are called to be the light of the world, to shine brightly and illuminate the path for those who follow. It's a time to use our gifts, talents, and abilities to make a positive impact and contribute to the betterment of our world. Yet just as the afternoon sun eventually gives way to the evening, so does this phase of our lives transition into the next. It's a natural progression, a testament to the cyclical nature of life. But remember, even as the sun begins to decline, its light doesn't diminish. Instead, It casts long, dramatic shadows that add depth and texture to the landscape. So too, as we transition from the afternoon to the evening of our lives, our light doesn't diminish. Instead, it takes on a different quality, a depth and richness that comes from a life well lived. Just as the sun is brightest at noon, so are we at our peak during the afternoon of our lives. As the sun begins to set, we enter the evening of our lives. This is the phase when our responsibilities start to lessen and we have more time for reflection. It's a period of winding down, reminiscent of the setting sun. In the grand scheme of our lives, this stage represents a time of diminishing physical strength but increasing wisdom. The Bible, in its profound wisdom, provides a clear depiction of this phase. In 1 Samuel chapter 4, verse 15, we find a description of Eli, who at the age of 98 had his eyes waxed dim. His physical faculties were declining, but his wisdom, born from a lifetime of experiences, remained intact. Psalm 104, verse 23, paints a vivid picture of this evening phase of life. It speaks of man going to his work and then beginning to return home in the evening. This evokes a sense of coming full circle, of wrapping up the day's activities and preparing for a period of rest. In the context of our lives, this evening phase is when we start to round off our life's endeavors. It's a time when we look back on our achievements and experiences, our joys and sorrows, our victories and defeats, and draw wisdom from them. It's a time when we reflect on the journey we've undertaken, the paths we've trodden, and the trails we've blazed. This is also the phase when we need to recognize that less of physical strength and more of wisdom is required. There's a time to use our strength primarily, and then there's a time to rely more on our wisdom. There's a time to run and a time to pass the baton. As we enter the evening of our lives, let's remember that although our physical strength may wane, our wisdom, like the deepening hues of the setting sun, only grows richer and deeper. As the day draws to a close, so do we begin to round off our lives, looking back on the day that's been and preparing for the night to come. Understanding our place in the day of life can help us make the most of our time and live more wisely. We've journeyed through the morning, afternoon and evening of life, each with its unique challenges and joys. The morning full of growth and laughter, the afternoon, the peak of our days, and the evening, a time of reflection and grace. Recognizing where we are in this cycle is crucial. It helps us adapt our actions, expectations and goals to align with our current season. As we traverse these periods, let's not forget the wisdom in Psalm 90:12. Teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts to wisdom. So take a moment, reflect on your journey, your experiences, your growth. Consider the light and the darkness, the joy and the challenges. Remember, wisdom comes with understanding our times and seasons. So what part of your day are you currently in?